this music turned down, and then we'll start today's stream. It's Taco Tuesday on Prizepicks, so we're going to see if we can find some good plays that we can pair with this NHL taco that we've got. It goes away in like an hour, so definitely going to build out a slip on today's stream and give out some plays to pair with that. We'll go ahead and put that in the slip, have it ready. But yeah, we got, I think, 7 games tonight. Yeah, 7-game slate. Pretty decent slate here for a Tuesday night. In terms of injury news for tonight, there's a good amount that we're kind of waiting on. There's nothing that's like too major, but Paul George is still questionable. That game does start at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so I don't know for sure, but I think we might get that news on Paul George during this stream. So we'll see if we can find a play on the Sixers maybe to potentially take if Paul George does or doesn't play. Also, they're without Joel Embiid tonight, so we're going to want to see who they start in place of Embiid. Right now, they have props up for Andre Drummond as if he's starting. It could be a Dembona, though, so we'll kind of see. I gave out a Dembona over 10.5 PR as a YouTube play for today, and that line's already bumped 2 points, so we got some good value there. And I'm going to like that even more if Bona's starting. But that's really the news we're waiting on in that game. I think that's pretty much it, though, for like major news. I mean, there's little minor stuff like Khalil Ware, questionable. Josh Giddey may be back tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. There definitely could be some value if Josh Giddey doesn't play, because a lot of these lines are set as if Giddey's playing. So like there could be some value on Trey Jones props, Ayo Dosunmu props, Jalen Smith props. I don't know if we'll get that Giddey news on stream, though. And then the Warriors have a couple guys questionable. Will Richard, Guy Santos, but like that's not too major. So I think that's pretty much it for injury news. Definitely going to keep an eye on this Sixers game, though, because I think there could be some value here. If Paul George gets ruled out, we'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't think we got an update yet on Paul George. I might have missed that, but let me take a look. Let's see. See if there's anything from Underdog. Game time decision. Mark Williams available to play. Jalen Green will play limited minutes off the bench. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, guys, how y'all doing, man? Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know I didn't stream Monday. I was planning on streaming Monday, and then we wound up doing a little party at my house for the national championship, so I couldn't stream Monday night. And for the people that were in the stream either on Friday or Thursday, sadly, I won't be giving away any Patreon memberships because the NFL play I gave out, Patriots -3, that came through. So I told the stream, I said, if the Patriots don't cover -3, I'll give away 3 Patreon memberships. And the Patriots, they came through, man. They covered for me. But that was fun. I kind of like doing stuff like that, little bets with the stream, so that we might could give away something. We might try and do something else, like maybe for the NFL games this weekend. I could give out a bet, and like if it doesn't hit, I'll give away Patreon memberships or something. So that might be something we do later in the week. Maybe like Thursday or Friday if we stream those days. I'm really gonna try and start like doing more for the stream, like for the people that tune into the stream, doing giveaways, especially for Patreon stuff, like Patreon memberships, because those are easy to give away. They don't cost anything, and it's beneficial for you guys to get into the Patreon, especially the people that have never been in the Patreon. So for everyone who's in the stream today, just stay tuned in with the streams throughout the weeks, because we're going to be doing some giveaways for sure. Probably this week, we'll do a giveaway either like Thursday or Friday. I'll give out a bet or something for the NFL games. If they hit, I guess I won't give anything away, but if it misses, we'll give something away. Or maybe somebody in the chat could give out a bet, and if it hits, we'll give away something if they hit their bet. We'll see. But if you guys have any questions for tonight's slate, you can throw those in chat. We'll answer some questions for the next like 30 minutes or so. We'll keep an eye on some news, and I'll give out probably a couple plays as well that we can take and play with this NHL taco for those of you that haven't used it yet. I got a couple plays I'm looking at that I'm kind of already liking for tonight. Some of it's kind of news dependent, but there's definitely some ones I'm eyeing that I am liking. OG Savage says, can't believe CJ Stroud sold my free VIP so bad, threw away my Texans Super Bowl chances. Birthday's in 9 days and he ruined it. I'm sorry, man. If you're like a diehard Texans fan or Texans fans, I am sorry. I mean, CJ Stroud played really poorly. He played really bad. I mean, how many turnovers he had? Like 4 or 5? Like, they were just never going to win with him playing like that. What's up, Noah? I got 3 props I wanted your take on. Jalen Green under PRA, VJ Edgecombe, I'm assuming over PRA, Ace Bailey under PR. So Jalen Green, we did just get word he's going to come off the bench and play limited minutes. Underdog just reported that like a little bit ago. Let's see. Yeah, Jalen Green played limited minutes off the bench. So he's been out for a while. Like, he's really not played much at all this season. I think he's played like 4 games. He's played 2 games, actually. So it really depends on how much Jalen Green's going to play. You asked for under PRA. Let's take a look at what his PRA line is at. So his PRA line's at 17.5. Like, if you told me he plays 24 minutes, I don't really like the under. If you told me he plays 18 minutes, I like the under. So this is a tough one. It's really just going to come down to how many minutes he plays. We really don't know. I'd guess he plays like 18 to 20. So it's just like, I don't see a ton of value there. You know, Jalen Green's typically a guy that averages like a PRA per minute. So if he plays like 18 minutes, he'd probably project for close to 18 PRA. Maybe we'll get some clarity on like how many minutes he's going to play exactly. But right now, the report is he's just going to play limited minutes off the bench. We don't know an exact number. It could be 24, it could be 18, it could be 15. That's a tough one, in my opinion. That's one that's like, I'm just iffy on. I would lean, if I had to pick a side, I'd lean on the under. Just anytime a player comes back from injury, especially when they've been out for over, you know, what? Jalen Green's been out for almost over 2 months. Like, typically, teams are going to be pretty cautious with guys that have been out that long. They're not going to just run up their minutes and, you know, risk re-injury. So if I had to pick a side on that, I would lean on the under. And the VJ Edgecombe PRA, that one could definitely be good, especially if Paul George gets ruled out. He's a game-time decision. Obviously, there's no Joel Embiid. You look at Edgecombe's recent games, he hasn't really done much. He hasn't gone over this PRA line, but that doesn't matter. Taking out Embiid, potentially taking out Paul George as well, should allow for Edgecombe to pick up a much bigger role. Minutes should be there as well. Obviously, minutes get even more secure if Paul George is out. I'm always hesitant, though, to take props on players who, you know, there's injury news pending. Like, if Paul George winds up playing, they might bump this line down to like 24.5 or 23.5. If Paul George gets ruled out, they might bump it up to 26.5 or 27.5. So it's kind of like, it's one of those, if you think Paul George plays, I don't know if I would take the over there. If you think Paul George is out, though, there could be some good value on that over. It is a back-to-back, but Paul George didn't play yesterday, so I think he probably plays today. And then the last prop he asked on was Ace Bailey under PR. This is another tough one. So the Jazz, they have a lot of guys out today. Let's see who all's out. Lauri Markkanen's out. Bryce Sensabaugh's out. Kevin Love's out, but that doesn't matter too much for Ace Bailey. But Lauri being out is obviously a big one. And, you know, Bryce Sensabaugh being out too means a good amount. So let's take a look at what Ace Bailey has done this year without Lauri. I don't know how many games he's played. Let's see. He's played, looks like 9 games without Lauri this season. We can look at his, let's just type in his PRA. So points plus rebounds plus assists. So without Lauri this year, 27, 23, 23, 21, 21, 18, 16, 16 PRA. So he's over in 5 out of 8 games. You know, Bryce Sensabaugh being out matters a little bit too, because that's just more minutes for Ace Bailey. I would think here, like, even though this game has blowout risk, Ace Bailey's going to play blowout most likely. So he feels pretty locked in for like at least 28 to 30 minutes, and there's a chance he could play more. It's not a good matchup, but as you can see, he has done pretty well without Lauri Markkanen this year. So I don't love that under on Ace Bailey. You asked for his PR, it's 18.5. We can take a look at that. Let's look at PR. I thought he said PRA. Even his PR, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's over in 4 out of 8. So that's a tough one. That's one I probably would just stay away from personally if it was me. But if you like the under there, you could take the under. Again, marketing, Sensabaugh being out definitely makes a difference there for Ace Bailey. I grabbed maxi points on the early taco. It was 22.5. Yeah, I got that as well. That was a good play for sure. I mean, even if maxi goes under, it was still a good bet. I mean, it's a 7-point discount. I say this like almost every Taco Tuesday. Like all the tacos are good bets in the end. Not every taco is gonna hit, but usually you're getting like a 6-point discount, 5 or 6 point discount. So it's gonna be a good bet in the end. Someone asked about DeRozan assist. We'll take a look at DeRozan assist. Let's see. His assist line on Prizepicks is at 4. He's pushed or gone over in 5 straight games. I'm assuming that's why you like it. I would have to look at DeRozan's game log with Sabonis this year, because obviously Sabonis being back matters for assist potential. Also, some of these games were without Dennis Schroeder, so Dennis Schroeder's back now as well. But let's look at DeRozan this year with Sabonis. So with Sabonis, if we look at his assists, he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games. Looks like he has pushed or gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 13. He has pushed or gone over. He did have 7 assists. He's pushed or gone over. Okay, we just got some big news. Josh Giddey ruled out. There's some value here for sure. I like this. And I like this. I think both of these are good. I'm about to play this with the taco. I hope you guys can get this in. I don't know if it's going to go. It looks like they're pulling the lines now. Look at that. Did it submit? They were literally pulling the lines as I was submitting the lineup. I don't even know if I got it in. My computer's like frozen. Jalen Smith removed. I don't even think I got that in. They took that off so fast. Hold up. Let me see. I did get it in. Well, I mean, I can't even count that as a stream slip because nobody was able to tell that because they pulled those props like immediately. Yeah, those are all gone. Well, we'll try and find something else. Damn. I didn't think they would be so quick to take that off the board. But yeah, Josh Giddey just got ruled out. So there was definitely some value on those plays. But they pulled those like within 10 seconds. Patrick Williams is out too. Damn. That was crazy. Like you guys literally saw me submit the slip, and the props got taken off like as soon as I clicked submit. It's still submitted though. It's showing up in my upcoming entries. So I mean, I was able to get it in, but I'm not gonna count that as a stream slip because nobody was able to tell that. So we'll find something else for the taco for sure. I was hoping that some people would be able to get that, but yeah, they were super, super quick to take that off the board. Prizepicks is on it today. It looks like they're on their stuff. Sometimes they're a little bit slower, but yeah, not on that one. But yeah, whoever was asking about DeRozan assist, that's a tough one because with Sabonis healthy now, I don't think DeRozan's assist upside is as high because they can just they can run more of the offense through Sabonis. Sabonis can get assist. You look, he has like a 50% hit rate with Sabonis this year. I wouldn't look too much at his recent games. I know his recent games he has had a bunch of assists, but some of these games were without Sabonis, without Schroeder. Those guys are back now. Also, DeRozan historically has not been like a big assist guy in his career. Like he's typically been like a 3 assists per game type of player. At least since he's been with the Kings. They pull the line so fast. Giddey's still on Hard Rock. Yeah, if you can always check other apps besides Prizepicks. But I'm assuming like by now all the apps have taken them off the board. Typically when it's news like that like the books are waiting on, they're going to be very quick. When it's stuff that when it's a random injury that comes out of nowhere, that's when you can get plays a little bit quick, like a little easier. But when it's something like that, the Josh Giddey news, like we've been waiting on that all day. Like as soon as it comes, they're going to be gone. But I mean, I was still able to get it in, I guess, but it doesn't matter. Oh well, oh well. We'll still try and find another slip to give you guys. And there's definitely some other lines that I'm looking at that I'm liking for sure. We'll put those together by 7 o'clock. Underdog took them both out. Yeah, Underdog's really quick to take down for injury news. It's almost impossible to play stuff on Underdog. I would say the best apps to do are like Sleeper, sometimes Prizepicks, sometimes you could go to Better, but like Underdog, I mean they're instant. So it's pretty much impossible to get stuff there unless you like have it already ready to play. Sabonis is getting limited minutes. It's not only due to injuries, but they're letting Renault and Carwell get their minutes. Somebody asked about Sabonis. I missed that one, I guess. But yes, Sabonis is playing limited minutes. He's come off the bench the last 2 games. We'll see if maybe he starts tonight. We'll see. I'm going to go up to the top here and get some of these questions that I missed. Someone said, you need to start a Discord for when you go live because the YouTube comments go through too slow. I mean, typically I'm able to get through most of the comments by the end of the stream, but it is hard to like answer every comment the second it gets posted. Because at that point I would have to answer each comment within like 10 seconds. And I try not to do that. I mean, I try and give some in-depth analysis on each question that people ask. I found the majority of the time the normal line of the player that has the taco goes under. They usually give tacos on plays that might be traps. I mean, if that's what you believe, you can believe that. The tacos are fan voted, so if it's a trap, the people are voting on the trap at that point. Because I think that the NBA taco, like you can literally vote on what you think the best taco is. I would say looking at these 4, you get a 7-point discount for Steph. You've got a 7-point discount for Luka. You got an 8 PRA discount for Jamal Murray and a 7 PRA discount for Scotty Barnes. I'm just going to vote Jamal Murray since it's an 8 PRA discount. But as you can see, it looks like Luka's going to win. Typically, the bots, not the bots, but the votes, they are heavily going to be on the star players. Like, whoever the star player is, like Luka, Steph, like that's who people are going to vote for. But I mean, you're getting a 7-point discount off of his original line. If you think they're rigged, the tacos are rigged, then yeah, take him under 32.5 points. But it makes more sense to just take the 25.5 discount. Trust me, if tacos were rigged, Prizepicks would let you bet more than $5. Because then every time the tacos would lose, Prizepicks would just rake in the money. But there's a reason you're limited on tacos. It's because, they're good bets. And they're going to hit a majority of the time. Party at your crib for the Super Bowl? Hey, maybe. We did a party. It was just like a bunch of my buddies came over, watched the game. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday. I was going to stream yesterday, but yeah, that was why I didn't. Enjoy your videos and advice. Gave you a sub for sure. Appreciate you, man. Dat boy Rizzle. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, man. Someone said Quickly over 5.5 assists. We can take a look at Emmanuel Quickly assist. Let's see. 5.5 on Prizepicks. So the Raptors are dealing with some injuries tonight. Not a ton, but they don't have Colin Murray-Boyles, and they still don't have RJ Barrett either. I could look at like Quickly's games without Barrett this year and see if his assists have gone up or down. Let's see. I'd assume they go up a little bit. Just taking Barrett off the floor probably brings in more assist potential. But Quickly's played a good amount of games without Barrett this year. 10 assists, 10, 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6. So it looks like at least over half his games, if not more than those, he has gone over this assist line. Looks like he's played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh, I messed up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So he's played 18 games without RJ Barrett. He's had at least 6 assists in, looks like 11 of those games. 2, 4, yeah. 11 out of 18 games without RJ Barrett, he's had 6 assists. Matchup against the Warriors, I think's okay for assist, I guess. The Warriors do play somewhat fast. Typically, assist opportunities are going to be better in fast-paced games because you just have more possessions. I mean, I think quickly this year he's averaging like 12 potential assists per game or somewhere around that number. Let's take a look at this. Quickly, he's at 11 potential assists per game this year. Just looking at like his last 5 games, he's at 9.3. His assist numbers have come down a little bit. That's probably because he's been playing more minutes alongside Jamal Shead, which typically that's not going to be good for his assist numbers. Last 3 games, he's at 10 potential assists. Let's take a look at games. I don't know if StatMuse will pull this up. Let's look at Jamal Shead game log as a starter. Because I'm assuming with Jamal Shead starting, that's probably worse for Quickly's assist numbers. I think all of these last 4 games have been with Jamal Shead starting. 11, 12, 14, 16. Okay, just 2 of these. So he had 7 assists against Philadelphia. That was with Jamal Shead starting. He had 0 assists that game against Philadelphia. Why do you have 0 assists? Did he get injured? No, he just had 0 assists in 32 minutes. That's wild. And then he had 7 assists in 28 minutes against the Lakers. I feel like 5.5. I would lean on the over there if I had to pick a side on that. Let's look at the sportsbook market, see where they have their line at. If the sportsbook market's leaning towards the over, then I like the over there as well. DraftKings has a minus 123, juice to the over. So odds are favoring the over on that Quickly play. So I think that's okay. I think that's decent to take. Jamal Shead starting, though, alongside Quickly is definitely not great because Shead does a lot of handling. Like, Shead had... This game might have been without Quickly, but he had 13 assists in that game. Like he's a guy that can do facilitating. Rams better win this weekend. If not, then I don't care. I kind of like the Rams as well. They were my prediction. They were my pick to make the Super Bowl, so we'll see if they make it. I don't know if that'll be my pick, though, for the NFL bet, if I'll take the Rams or not. DeAndre Ayton, 2.5 first quarter points. I like the matchup a lot for DeAndre Ayton. 2.5, though, is a number that I don't love. Just because typically I say Ayton either gets like 2 points or he gets 4 points because like he's not going to shoot threes. He doesn't go to the free throw line a ton. If the number was 1.5, I would really like it. At 2.5, it's okay, I guess. First quarter props I feel like are just really tough. I mean, Ayton, he'll play probably 6 minutes in the first quarter, 7 minutes. You gotta hope he scores, 3 or 4 points in that time. It's one of those just kind of iffy. I'm gonna refresh my Prizepicks. It's going a little slow. Okay, Paul George just got ruled out. Let's see if we could get these. I'm sure Prizepicks is gonna be really quick to take these off, but there's definitely value here on Oubre and on Grimes. Grimes over 22.5 fantasy, Oubre over 18.5 PRA. Those are 2 good plays to pair with the NHL Taco if you guys can get them. I can't play this because I already used the Taco. Okay, they just bumped Oubre a point. You could pivot, instead of taking 19.5 PRA, you could pivot to PR instead. It's 16.5. Let me know if anybody's able to get this, if they want to tail this slip. But now that Paul George is out, I do like this. I think the Oubre play is probably a little bit better because Oubre should start for Paul George. Oh, yeah, Oubre is starting. Sixers will start Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, Barlow, Drummond. I think I like the Oubre play more. So if you want to just do a 2-pick, you could do the NHL Taco with Oubre. But I think Grimes benefits here as well without Paul George. I mean, Edgecombe benefits a little bit too, but I don't think he gets as big as a projection bump as Grimes does. Let's see. Either one of these is good. I think I like the Oubre one more. Surprised they didn't bump. They're probably going to bump the Oubre line, I would assume. At least a point. Maybe 2. But if you guys want to tell, feel free. I don't know how long these plays will be up, if they'll stay up. Maybe they'll stay up. But like I bet if you look at... Let's see. So without Paul George and without Joel Embiid, Quentin Grimes, fantasy, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has pushed or gone over in 7 out of 10 games. Now, he was playing more minutes in these games than he's been playing lately. But even if we look at games with 25 to 28 minutes, he still pushed or over in 3 out of those 4 games. So Grimes has a pretty good hit rate on this line without PG and without Embiid. And then Oubre probably hasn't played a ton without those 2 guys because he's been out this year. But let's take a look at his numbers. Again, Oubre, he was playing 40 minutes earlier this season. I don't know if he'll play that much now, but I think his last game he played pretty full minutes. I mean, he played 35 minutes his last game. So it is a back-to-back, but Oubre seems to be playing full minutes. Okay, they took down the Grimes line, but they still have Oubre up. But I mean, you look at Oubre's, let's look at his points plus rebounds. Kelly Oubre, points plus rebounds. Without Embiid, without Paul George. 35, 32, 22, 19, 18, 18, and then 4. The game he had 4, he only played 15 minutes for whatever reason. Injury, blowout, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, really good hit rate for Oubre without PG and without Embiid this year. The back-to-back scares me a little bit just because Oubre is kind of coming back from injury. But since he's come back from injury, 20 minutes, 14, but then 34, 29, 26, 26, 35. He probably plays 30 minutes, maybe more. So I really like the Oubre play. It looks like they pulled his PRA, but they still have 11.5 points up, 4.5 rebounds, and then PR. PR is my favorite here, but 11.5 points is good too. Anybody get those? Yeah, they just took off Grimes, but the Oubre line's still up. You could take that one if it's, if you're on Prizepicks at least. I don't know about other sites. They might have pulled quicker. But like I said, Prizepicks sometimes is slower to pull lines. Let's see if the sports books have changed their lines on Oubre at all. See if DraftKings maybe has some available. DraftKings has Oubre. Let's see. Okay, they have Oubre at 16.5 as well. PR. I still think that's good. I'm surprised they didn't bump that line up a little bit. I figured it would at least went up a point. But the Grimes fantasy is down. I wonder if they pulled any of Grimes' other props. No. Just fantasy's down. Okay, they just bumped his points to 13.5. Interesting. PR or PA is at 14.5. I don't like that as much as PR. PR is better, in my opinion. 19.5 PRA. Okay. Yeah, that's a taco play though. If you didn't get the Grimes prop, you could pair the Oubre prop with it. I like that regardless. Maybe they bump the line, maybe they don't, but I think with no Embiid, with no Paul George, that's a pretty good play on Oubre, and he's starting as well, which is good to see. Dat Boy Rizzle said, I use your code on Sleeper. Thank you, man. Thank you. That does support me. So anytime you guys ever use my code, I do appreciate it because it does support me, supports the channel. And you get some benefits as well. For Sleeper, you get the deposit bonus. You get the free entry. Prizepicks, if you use my code, you get the $50 in free lineups. Okay, so they did just bump Oubre 2 points. So yeah, there you go. I felt like a bump was coming. I didn't think that line was going to stick at 16.5. Yeah, so hopefully guys, some of you guys got that in. Oh, now they bumped it back down. Okay, they're playing mind games with me. Someone said Luka's going to be the next taco. I took his OG line. I mean, I wouldn't panic, man. I'll be honest. If you believe in the taco curse, then, you know, I guess that's what you can believe in. I'm not one of those people, though, that believes in that type of stuff. If you are one of those people, you can always take the taco original line under. People say they do that a lot, so I don't know if the hit rate on that is good or what. Press Achua over 5.5 rebounds. Man, I can't get a read on Press Achua. Like Achua, some games he'll play like 20 minutes, and then some games he'll play like 35 minutes. It makes no sense. Like you look at Precious Achua's last 5 games: 39 minutes, 30 minutes, 38 minutes, 27 minutes, 18 minutes. Like, I feel like with Sabonis back, his minutes are definitely not as secure. Because, like, they can play... They have so many bigs. Like, they have Achua, they have Sabonis, they have Reynal, they have Dylan Cardwell, who they've been playing a lot lately. I will say Miami has been really bad rebounding this year, which is kind of surprising. Typically, they've been a pretty good rebounding team, but this year they've been really bad on the boards. It's definitely a good spot for Achua to get rebounds. The minutes concern me. He could play 35 minutes. He could play 18 minutes. Like, there's just such a wide range of outcomes with his minutes. So, that's one of those plays I'm just a little hesitant on, personally. And I do think as Sabonis starts to get more minutes under his belt, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Achua, obviously. Okay, they did bump Grimes half a point. It looks like they bumped up Edgecombe up 2.5 points. Edgecombe was probably a good play, too. But I think Grimes does benefit here. He should get a lot of usage off the bench. He should play pretty much all the minutes that Maxey doesn't play, so he'll really get to run the offense coming off the bench whenever Maxey's not on the floor. But yeah, we'll count that as our official stream slip today, since the other one I posted, got taken off immediately. The Grimes 22.5 fantasy, Oubre 16.5 PR. That's the official stream slip paired with the NHL taco. They added Oubre 25 fantasy. That feels about right. Drummond 24 fantasy. That feels about right. Thoughts on a Dembona over 11.5 PR? I took his over 10.5 PR last night on YouTube. He's not starting, so I wouldn't say I'm worried about his minutes, but I think his minutes upside is not as high now that he's coming off the bench. But they really haven't been playing Andre Drummond much at all lately, which is kind of why I'm surprised to see Drummond starting. Because, like, Drummond's been out of the rotation the last 2 games. If I had to guess, I would say Bona still probably plays like 22 to 24 minutes, and he could play more. Where his line's at now, at 12.5, I think that's probably an accurate line. If you can find it at 11.5, it's probably good to take it at 11.5. If he was starting, though, I would feel really good about it. Just with Drummond starting, there's at least a possibility that Drummond plays more than we might expect. Brandon said he got both in. Openly opinionated. See, he got both. So, yeah, it looks like everybody was able to get those Sixers guys. So, that's good. That's good. Those stayed up a little bit longer than the Bulls guys. I mean, those Bulls props got pulled, like, immediately. I've never seen Prizepicks pull stuff that fast. Like, I submitted the slip probably 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds after they got ruled out, and I barely got it in. They haven't, I was going to see if they added Bulls props back up yet, but they haven't as of now, at least not fantasy scores. I could look at some of these other lines, though. So they added Kobe White at 29.5 fantasy. That actually looks pretty good. His PRA line is 28.5. His fantasy is only a point higher. That looks pretty good to me. I mean, I might take that. That looks pretty good. I mean, with his PRA being 28.5, like his fantasy should probably be at least 31.5. So yeah, if you guys want another play, I like this Kobe White fantasy prop, especially now that Giddey's officially out. If you can still use it with the taco, you could do that, or you could just play it with something else. But I like this prop. I'll see if they put up any more Bulls fantasy lines. I was looking at some of these other games. I don't see any I'm loving here. Sabonis is one that I'm torn on, because Sabonis, his 2 games back from injury, he's come off the bench both games, and he's only played like 20 minutes. But that's not going to happen every game. Like, eventually Sabonis is going to go back into the starting lineup and play 25, 26 minutes. When that happens, he's probably going to go over a lot of his projections, because his projections are set as if he's playing like limited minutes off the bench, which that's, you know, this could be the game where maybe he starts. Like, I kind of like the Sabonis fantasy, but there's obviously some risk there, because he could come off the bench again and just play 20 minutes, but eventually he's going to start. I don't know when it'll be. Yeah, for now at least, I think this Kobe White prop is good to take if you want to pair it with something you like, or pair it with the NHL taco if you can still use it. That line should probably be at least like 2 points higher than what it is now. And I'm sure if you look at Kobe White's games without Giddey this year, he's probably gone over this line a good amount of games. Especially the games where he's played full minutes, which he's playing full minutes now. He was playing limited minutes earlier, but now he's back to full. You still like Oubre over 18.5 PR? I don't think I would take that, no. If you didn't get it at 16.5, I don't think I would take it at 18.5. It's just, you know, the value's just not as good there. You like any Moses Moody props? Those could be interesting. So the Warriors, right now for the Warriors, they obviously don't have Jimmy Butler, who's out for the season, man. That sucks to see Jimmy Butler get injured. But they don't have Jimmy Butler, and they also have a couple of guys questionable. Will Richards questionable, and who else? I think Draymond's questionable. Yeah, Draymond's questionable. Al Horford's out. Guy Santos is questionable. You know, it is a back-to-back, and the Warriors are a team that, like, on back-to-backs, they can really just run a very deep rotation and just play a lot of guys. But if Will Richards out, like, that should be better and should make more Moses Moody's minutes more secure. If I had to take any prop on him, if I was looking at an over, it would probably be like his points prop or maybe his PR. I just, like, you never know with Steve Kerr. Like, Steve Kerr can just, he'll play some guys 30 minutes one night and then play them 15 the next. Like, it's just never, there's nothing that's ever consistent in his rotation besides, like, Steph's minutes. Like, if you look at Moses Moody's recent games, 19 minutes, then 27, then 22, then 17, then 23, then 28, then 27, then 29. So his minutes have been somewhat consistent as of late. I don't know if that continues, but if they don't have Will Richard, if they don't have Guy Santos, like the less bodies they have, the better. Because that's just less players that Steve Kerr could play in place of Moody. But yeah, I think over 11.5 points is like, it's an okay bet, I think. If Will Richard gets ruled out, I feel a little bit better about it. I wonder, let's take a look at Moody's game logs without Butler this year. So, looks like he's played 6 games without Jimmy Butler. 28 points, 14 points, 13 points, 12 points, 9 points, 9 points. One of the games he played 9 points, he played 20 minutes. The other game he scored 9 points, he played 36 minutes, but he shot 3 for 12 and 1 for 6 from 3. But I mean, last time Jimmy Butler was out, 27 minutes, 12 points for Moses Moody. Game before that, 27 minutes, 13 points. I don't hate it. I think that over 11.5 points on Moody is okay. That would probably be my favorite prop to take there if I was going to take one. Coby White's a turnover machine. He'll have 4 to 5 turnovers affecting his fantasy value. I mean, even if he does have turnovers, you still got to remember that, for rebounds, you get 1.2 points. For assists, you get 1.5. So, like, if Coby White has 6 assists, that's going to be worth 9 fantasy points. So, even if he has, like, 2 or 3 turnovers, typically the rebounds and the assists kind of will make up for it. And he could maybe get some steals. Like, for what it's worth, he's had 2 steals in back-to-back games. Steals and blocks are obviously kind of real fluky. Like, they're super tough to project, but his fantasy is definitely way better than PRA. Like, I would not take 28.5 PRA. Like, there's just no reason to take that. If he goes over PRA and not fantasy, like, I'll give away a Patreon membership because that would be just crazy. But, I mean, you look, he had 25 PRA against Brooklyn, but he had 30.8 fantasy, so he went over his fantasy that game. Did you like the Luka or the OG Luka line? I missed it if you said anything on it. That's one I haven't really looked at. I think the matchup for Luka's decent against Denver. It's always tough. Like, without Austin Reeves, you would think Luka really benefits. But I want to say without Reeves this year, he's just kind of been okay. Like, he's not been crazy good. Let me look at this. Obviously, there's been a trend lately where, it's like bad game, great game, bad game, great game, bad game. Maybe he's due for a good game here. Maybe the trend continues. But, like, if you look at his games lately without Austin Reeves, he's had some good ones in there. 34, 36, 30, 38. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's 8 for 16. He's got a 50% hit rate on this line with without Austin Reeves this year. He's got a 50% hit rate on that line. I don't know, man. That's one that the taco's still good, in my opinion, but the original line over, I don't feel as good about that. He said, of course he became a taco after I took him already. That'll happen sometimes. It is what it is. If you're able to, you should probably still take the taco. And hopefully he goes over the taco and the line that you took, and then you're sitting really pretty. Matas up at 30.5. Yeah, let me take a look at these other Bulls lines. Matas at 30.5. That feels about right. Ayo didn't really bump much. Ayo's line was 19. His line's 20.5 now. I figured Ayo's line would bump a little bit more than that. Honestly, I think this is good as well. Is Ayo's fantasy over 20.5. I think without Giddey, that line probably should have bumped at least like 3 or 4 points because he really benefits without Giddey. Without Giddey this year, Ayo has gone over this fantasy line in every single game except one. Now, some of these games I think he did start, but even coming off the bench, he still played 30 minutes off the bench last game. I mean, yeah, I think this is good as well. I think both of these are good. I typically don't like taking two guys on the same team, but when it's a situation like this where there's an injury and there's some value, I'll do it. So yeah, if you guys want another stream slip, I like this. Obviously, you can't play just these two together. You have to pair it with something else. So if you haven't used the NHL Taco yet, you could once again play it with this. I've already maxed it out though. But we'll track. I just don't know how I'm gonna track this because I guess I could just look at the box score and figure out what their fantasy lines are myself. But yeah, I can't play this. I don't even think I could put $1 on it. Yeah, it won't let me. But yeah, this will be another stream slip for sure. I like both of these plays a good amount. So we'll have 2 stream slips for today. We'll have, I mean, we're really relying on the NHL Taco. If the NHL Taco doesn't hit, we're going to be in shambles. But we've got the NHL Taco in both of our slips. And then we've got this one with Kobe White over 29.5 fantasy, Ayo Dosunmu over 20.5 fantasy. And then our other slip, Quentin Grimes over 22.5 fantasy, Kelly Oubre over 16.5 PR. So 2 slips on stream today. Hopefully both those hit. I feel good about both those plays. Or both those slips and all those plays together. You gotta, if you want to pair for the next taco, I mean, the next taco comes out in 8 minutes. Assuming they don't bump these lines within the next 8 minutes, you could pair these two with the next taco, and that's totally good to do. Honestly, I might stay on stream for 7 more minutes so I can do that. So let's wait. Let's see. What is the next taco going to be? I'm going to underdog. I'm going to go to Prizepicks. I think Luka. That's right, Luka. So yeah, we'll wait for that Luka taco to come out, and we'll pair this with the Luka taco. Hopefully these lines don't bump within that time. If Ware is ruled out, do you like any Bam props? I'd have to take a look at what Bam's done without Ware this year. Let's see. Okay, so he hasn't... Yeah, nothing for this season, but these are some games from last season. But yeah, I don't really want to look at that. I would think Bam benefits. Now, Bam has been really bad this year, especially as of late. He's really been struggling, but like this matchup is really, really good. Sacramento's been a very bad defensive team against bigs. They've given up a ton of points in the paint. Now that they do have Sabonis back, they'll probably be better. But it's a great spot for Bam. And if Khalil Ware's out, he should definitely benefit. If I had to take any prop for Bam, I think I would probably go...
I'm sorry.
Damn Siri. I would probably go PRA or fantasy. His PR is at 28.5. You need him to get 3 assists for PRA to be better. He's had at least 3 assists in 5 straight games. So I definitely like PRA more than I like PR. So then it's kind of deciding between PRA or fantasy. He's favored for 2 steals and blocks. He hasn't had 2 steals and blocks in 3 straight games, but he's favored for 2 tonight. Maybe I'd go fantasy there. Like, I think if Khalil Ware's out, Bam probably projects for like 40.5 fantasy. So there's a little bit of value there. I don't think it's like something that I would be running to get in, but it's at least playable, I think. He would definitely project better if Khalil Ware did get ruled out. So yeah, either one of those, PRA or fantasy, I think is okay. Skywalker says, hey, Noah, what's up, Skywalker? What's up, my man? Do you like Kobe or Ayo more? That's tricky. Probably Ayo, just because of how good he's been without Giddey this year. Again, he's only gone under that line once this season without Giddey. That line should at least be like 24.5, I think. Like, that's a pretty good play, that Ayo fantasy. Let's take a look at where his other lines are at. I mean, yeah, his PRA is at 18.5. He's typically a guy that can get maybe 1 or 2 steals. He's favored for 1 steal. He doesn't really turn the ball over much at all. I mean, he's had 0 turnovers his last 2 games. So yeah, with the 18.5 PRA line, his fantasy should probably be like at least 22.5 or 23.5. And then I think Kobe's fantasy should be like 31.5, 32.5. Both of these are at least 2 or 3 points too low, in my opinion. I wonder if Underdog has fantasy up for Kobe White. I know they won't have anything up for Io. Let me take a look at Underdog. Yes, okay, so Underdog has Kobe White at 31.25 fantasy. That feels like that's a better line. That's a much more accurate line. Between the two, though, I think I would lean Io if I had to just play one. Never have put a slip when Kobe White plays. Well, if you're tailing this slip, you're putting one in tonight. Mark Williams over 9.5 points. So I took Mark Williams over 10.5 points and assists, and that line's still available. Mark Williams is starting, which is good to see. I was a little bit worried he might come off the bench on a back-to-back, but he's starting. There is some uncertainty on how much he's going to play. His minutes have been somewhat limited on back-to-backs this year. He did play 29 minutes yesterday. I think he plays like 22, 24 minutes. Since he's starting, that makes me feel better about his minutes. If he was coming off the bench, I'd be worried. I don't hate 9.5 points, honestly. I think that's probably just as good as 10.5 points and assist. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he starts and only plays like 18 minutes, but I feel like if they were going to play him only 18 minutes, they probably would have brought him off the bench and not start him. But he is confirmed starting, I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw that earlier. Where's Underdog at? Yeah, Suns will start Gillespie, Booker, Brooks, O'Neal, Williams. So yeah, I think that's okay on Mark Williams' points. You like any Sandro props with no Pirtle or CMB? He should have to play a lot. Sandro should, no doubt. I don't know if he's even played. I think he's played 1 game this year. Let me look. Let's see. Looks like... Okay, it looks like he's played 2 games without Colin Murray-Bulls and without Pirtle. He came off the bench in this game, which is surprising. I figured he would start, but he came off the bench in one of these games. They went with Ingram, Barrett, Barnes, Agbaji quickly. Obviously, they don't have Barrett now, but they could just start Shed in place of Barrett. And then the other game, he did start. But in 2 games without Pirtle and without Colin Murray-Boyles, 33 minutes, 13, 11, and 2 with the 2 steals and a block. The other game, 22 minutes, 13, 6, and 0 with 2 steals and a block. I mean, Mamu's typically been like a pretty productive player when he gets minutes. I would think he probably plays at least like 25 minutes here, probably more. If I had to pick anything to take on Mamu, any over, I would probably go with PRA. Probably would go with PRA or Fantasy, one of the two. Fantasy, he's over in 2 out of 5. PRA, he's over in 2 out of 5 as well. It feels like if he goes over that PRA line, he probably goes over Fantasy too. Unless he like doesn't get any steals or blocks, but he's favored to get a steal. And then blocks. I mean, he's had at least 1 block in 3 of his last 5. So one of those 2 I think is good. He should play a lot though. He probably should play at least like 25, close to 30 minutes, maybe more. Okay, the Luka Taco should be out now. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and play that with these 2 props from the Bulls. And we'll do our... play that. So I guess we'll count this as our next stream slip. So we'll have 2 stream slips in for today. So yeah, if you guys want to play these two props, I like these a good amount with Josh Giddey out. I think both of those Bulls lines are a little bit too low with Giddey out. But I'm going to answer this last question, guys, and then I'm going to hop out of here. GB says, one more note, do you like Keontae George under PRA? So without Lauri Markkanen, Keontae George should have a big role. I'd have to look at, let's see. It is a really bad matchup, and there's blowout risk as well. And if it's a blowout, Keontae George won't play in a blowout. Let's look at his PRA, though. Let's see. Points plus. So he's played 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games without Lauri this year. He's over this PRA, it looks like, in 5 out of 9 games. I still think 34.5 is probably a good line on Keontae. If I had to pick a side, I'd actually lean the under as well. I just think it's a really bad matchup. There's blowout risk. But he's going to have a big role. He's going to have a lot of usage. And if by some chance Utah keeps the game competitive, he's going to play a lot of minutes as well. But that's if they keep it competitive. Skywalker said, how does Utah keep getting away with benching Nurk without letting the league know just gets DMP'd? I mean, I'll be honest, the Jazz are tanking, so they're going to just do whatever the hell they want. But if Nurkic is not starting, if there's any night where Nurkic doesn't start, just assume he's not playing. So if you play DFS and you've been playing Nurkic, like, yeah, just take him out of your lineup if he's not starting. And then for props, just assume he's not going to play. I do agree, like, they should be getting fined for this, because, like, if he's not going to play, then you should put him on the injury report. But, players aren't on the injury report and don't play a ton. Now, it doesn't happen very often where a player doesn't start. A player who typically starts just randomly doesn't play. Like, typically you would rule them out. But the Jazz are just going to do whatever the hell they want. They're trying to lose games, so it is what it is. It's always been that way with the Jazz. They've always been a team that they've done shit like that. So if you ever see any of their regular players, like Keontae not starting, Nurk not starting, Lauri not starting, just assume they're not playing. That's what I'll say. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for tonight. We got 2 slips we gave out on stream. Hopefully those can come through and hit for us. Just got some good plays we can pair with the Luka Taco. Hopefully, guys, if you tailed that, hopefully they come through and we can hit tonight. But that's all I got. That's all I got, man. It's a 7-game slate. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can win some money tonight, and I will see you guys in the next stream. I should be live tomorrow, probably same time. Let me look at the schedule real quick. Let's see. So we got 7 games tomorrow starting at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, probably same time tomorrow. I'll be live. 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys then. Best of luck tonight, guys. Peace.